Oh my god. I love Kaiser.
My Mr. Squidward, I don't think I'm gonna be able to handle it anymore. Sorry, I don't know. That just came out of my mouth. I don't know what I'm doing, honestly. Alright, chat. We're gonna be showing you guys the Viego combos today. I'll talk about builds, runes, and stuff, and yeah, it's gonna be a good time. So I'm just gonna get straight into it, practice tool. Alright, start the game. Lock in Viego. Runes, we're just gonna go standard runes for now. This is the standard page that I go into like almost every matchup. The only thing that changes here is like you either go bone plating or second wind. But yeah. Alright, let me load in. Oh my god, this guy's eating popcorn. Alright, so first thing first, if you play Viego, you have to know how to do this. This is like the bread and butter. Viego is the fastest Conqueror stacker in the game, because his double hit counts as 4 Conqueror stacks, and his Q also counts as 2 Conqueror stacks. So Q auto is 6 Conqueror stacks, and W auto is another 6 Conqueror stacks. So look, watch this. Q, auto, W, auto. Look, you see how Conqueror is fully stacked? Viego does it the fastest out of any champion in the game. So you have to use this to your advantage. You can, your W, Viego's W is an auto attack reset, so you can auto W auto. See, look, I'll do a auto and then a normal W and an auto, and then here, look, this is what it looks like when you cancel. You see how it's faster? Because Viego's W is an auto attack reset. So this means you can Q and then auto, W auto, but you should use your W as an auto attack reset. So you have to use your W in the middle of the double hit animation. So Q and then use the W in the middle of this double hit. See, look, watch. Oh wait, it ran out. Double hit and then W auto. And you're gonna know if you did it fast enough if the magic damage number is stacked right on top of the physical damage number. You see how the numbers were stacked there? Like the blue number and the red number, they were on top of each other? Look, I'll do it again. Oh wait, my W is on cooldown, whoops. I'll just put on auto refresh cooldowns. May as well. Okay, see, that time I didn't do it as fast. You have to practice. I think ping definitely matters for this a little bit. But if you can get it right for the most part, like 8 out of 10 times, I think you're fine. See how the numbers are stacked there? That's the main thing. That's how you know you did it fast. So like say this guy's running away, I can just Q flash and then oh see look I canceled. You gotta make sure you don't cancel the auto, okay? If you do that then you're trolling. But sometimes like it happens. Everyone's human, everyone makes mistakes, but like Q flash. Oh see look I just did it again. Honestly just you'll cut that part out of the video, okay? Alright, Q auto, W auto, see? See this guy's like running away, you just Q flash auto, W auto. This is like the most basic Viego combo that you have to know how to do no matter what. If you can't do this, just don't even touch the champ, honestly. Like, I think you should just, like, I don't know, go play, like, Pantheon or something, or Malphite. Malphite sounds pretty good. He's point and click. But yeah, Q flash, auto W auto. Oh yeah, that's right, Q flash is another combo. I mean, this one's pretty simple. This is another combo you have to know. That one's very easy. And then WQ is also a combo you can do. To see, look, watch. You can like WQ. You do it at the same time. That's another combo that you have to know how to do on this champ. And Viego's Q is a 600 range, so I can be standing like right here and I can WQ, and that's like about max range Q. Right here is like about max range. Maybe I can stand a bit further back. Yeah, this is about max range right here. So you have to know how to WQ. This is also WQing is a combo you're gonna use when like someone's just like 1 HP and or if like someone's about to die and you want to get in range to get their ghost, you just WQ real quick and then just wait till they die and then you get their ghost. Alright, now we'll level up E here. You know, Viego's combos are honestly pretty simple. Wait, let me get the Scuttle Crab out of the way real quick. Yeah, there aren't really many combos since they removed WE. The one thing you should know about Viego's E is that it can be cast during any ability. Look, I can cast E while I'm casting W. I can also cast E while I'm casting Q. And that's very useful because Viego's E gives him attack speed and Viego's Q animation scales off of attack speed. So you can QE as well. And it kind of hides the Q animation. I don't know if you guys saw that. It kind of hides it, which is pretty useful at times. I'll show you guys again. Like QE. See how the Q animation is hidden? There was no Q animation there. And you can also use RE, which is, this one isn't really like, you know, that useful. You're pretty much never going to use RE, but it does make your R like kind of unpredictable at times. But that one's more unrealistic and people don't really know about that one. Don't worry about that one. You're not going to be using it. Very few situations where it's actually useful. But yeah. Alright, let's buy some items now. I'm gonna level up to like 14. Oh, when do people have 3 items? Usually around like... we'll just go level 16 so we can have rank 3R, why not? Alright, for build, this patch, I think the best build is just going defensive boots with Bork first, and then shield bow, and then third item, you want to go Bloodthirster. I think the buff to Bloodthirster is very good. You know, obviously 200 gold off the item, pretty significant. And the shield is also very, very strong now. It's a lot bigger. The shield is fat. The item did lose 3% lifesteal, but I don't think it matters that much, to be honest. Especially since you're going shield bow, you're going to be overhealing most of the time anyways. But yeah, it's honestly very nice. You guys can also try overheal, the overheal rune if you want, and tell me how that goes. Because they did buff the overheal rune, and having overheal shield along with bloodthirster shield along with shield bow shield, like, you know, it's definitely gonna add it up. Like, Viego's actually fairly tanky with this build. But yeah, combos. Let me show you. Alright, so there's a combo you can do where Viego like basically cancels his auto. Uh, you can like auto cancel while you're Wing and ulting. Here, let me show you guys. Look, this is a W auto R. That's normal W auto R, okay? Now let me show you that same thing, except I do the animation cancel. Alright, you see that? I'm not sure why the damage is. Oh wait, I think I crit on this one. But yeah. So you basically just W, and then you have to make sure your cursor is like on them in order to get the cancel to go off. So let me show you guys again. This can be useful if you're like autoing someone max range and then you need to R someone like as soon as you use W. So like say this has happened to me a few times. This combo is actually pretty useful for like when I want to ult, when I want to R Mord R to cancel Mord's R. It actually comes in handy. Cause like I want to auto him after I W, but I also want to R because like he's usually gonna R when you're like stuck in the W animation. You know what I mean? So this one can be pretty useful at times. You know, there's a little bit of a damage difference because I'm critting on this one and I'm not critting on these ones, but yeah. See, we got a crit on that. But overall, yeah, that's another combo you can do. I'm gonna tell you guys some tips now for Viego. Say you kill someone. Um, wait, hold on, let me TP here. Okay, look, I'm the dummy right now. Usually in team fights, as soon as you are, you want to use your Viego E as soon as you get out. You see how I E'd as soon as I got out? That's really useful because your E, it already starts going, so you don't have to. I don't know really know how to explain this, but if you are while you're Eing, like the mist is already going ahead of you. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to wait for it. Because a lot of times, say I'm just like Eing the wall, I have to wait for the mist sometimes. Look how it's like I'm pretty close to it. I'm not really it's because I have tier 2 boots and I have max rank E, so it doesn't really matter right now. But if I didn't have max rank E and I didn't have boots, I wouldn't be traveling as fast as like the E is gonna be like a bit slower than me. So yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about. You see when that happens? Like that won't happen if you are an E. It's also a very small thing, but I don't know. Wait, Marco, do you know what I'm saying? Like, do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
Like, does that what I just said? Does it even make sense? Because I don't know how to like, I don't know. I can't speak English. I don't know.
Well, I was not listening, but yes.
Yeah, just R at the use your E at the start of R so the mist travels faster. Like so it already starts traveling over here as soon as you use it. So by the time you get to your R, like wherever you ulted, the mist is already there. You know, maybe that's a better explanation. Because when you E the wall over here, you have to wait for the mist to travel. I mean, is there anything else? I don't even know. That's also a very small thing, but I don't really know if there's anything else. Um, oh yeah, if someone's like face checking you, the best combo to do if someone's face checking you is W auto QR. And the reason for that is because they're stunned during the entire duration of that. See, look, let me show you guys again. Fully charged W if they're face checking you. Wait, I did it slow. Wait, no, don't count that one. Alright, so W, auto. Oh wait, I messed it up. What am I doing? You just W, auto, QR. And they're stunned during that entire duration. The reason why this is useful is because it guarantees your R is going to hit them because they're going to be stunned. That's when you use this combo. Pretty much only if someone's face checking you is when you would want to use this one. Because they're stunned during the entire duration, they can't really mitigate any of this damage. The R is pretty much guaranteed. Unless if they have like double tenacity or something. And obviously like the more attack speed you have, the easier it's gonna be to do. But yeah, these are pretty much all the Viego combos. In terms of build, I think these 3 items you should be getting every single game. Tabbies can be swapped out for mercs if they have a lot of CC and stuff. But you're pretty much always going to want defensive boots on Viego. In terms of build, you rush Bork. Oh, this is for like uh, Viego jungle too. I'm talking about Viego in all top, mid, and jungle. I think should be running this build, this patch. Bork first into Shield Bow, into Bloodthirster. If you're playing lane Viego, usually you want to prioritize getting the Vamp Scepter first, because it's just really nice to have in lane. And then after that, you want to prioritize, like say I based on like 1300 gold, right? If I based on 1300 gold, then like I would probably get pickaxe and dagger instead of getting a recurve bow, because I think in lane it's better to have the extra damage compared to the more attack speed. But if you're basing on exactly 1000 gold, then it's definitely better to get recurve over pickaxe in lane. But yeah, if you're playing jungle, you should always prioritize recurve bow over the pickaxe for sure. And in jungle, you don't want to prioritize the vamp scepter. You in jungle, your first priority is the recurve bow, and then second you buy pickaxe. You buy vamp scepter last in the jungle because you don't need it for jungle. And then when you're building shield bow, um, this is also very important. You should prioritize Noon Quiver. If you have 1300 gold, you buy Noon Quiver first. But sometimes You know, you're gonna base on like, I don't know, 950 gold. If you have like 950 gold or 1000 gold, you don't buy Vamp Scepter. You buy the Crit Cloak and then the Longsword, because this is 950. And you guys might disagree with buying Crit Cloak, or some people don't like buying Crit Cloak, but Crit Cloak is actually good on Viego because his Q has a crit scaling and his R also has a crit scaling. So your Q and R literally do more damage based on the amount of crit you have. So when you buy this item, your Q and R damage both increase, and you also get the crit chance, of course. So it's actually a pretty efficient item on Viego. And yeah. Yeah, so overall, like when you're buying shield bow, prioritize this item first. Second, usually you buy cloak with longsword if you can. If you're on exactly 900, the only time you get Vamp Scepter for this item is if you have like exactly 900 gold. And that's pretty much the only time, because you already get the Vamp from. You have enough lifesteal from Bork generally, so it's better to opt for the, you know, more damage when you're building shield bow. So getting the damage components is nice for sure. And then Bloodthirster, prioritize buying the damage first, obviously, if you have enough gold for it. And then after these two items, if they have a lot of magic damage, you can go for Visage. I think Visage is really good with this build. It amplifies all the healing and shielding you get, which is going to be a lot, obviously, because you're going to have the Bloodthirster shield. See, look how big the shield is going to be. They buffed it pretty hard this patch. I feel like I'm getting the wrong value on this right now. 390? I guess I have a lot of HP, so it's hard to tell. But yeah, 390 shield is honestly pretty significant. Scales up to 450, not bad. It's a pretty decent shield. Good stats too. And then if they don't have lots of magic damage, instead of getting Visage, you can go for probably Death's Dance. I'm not really a fan of this item ever since the change, but it's still like pretty solid on Viego. The ability haste doesn't really matter. Viego's not a champion that utilizes ability haste that well. So Viego actually likes the extra AD that the item gives. It also gives 5 more armor now, which is nice. But the passive is nerfed pretty hard. 50% bonus health scaling for the heal is a pretty big nerf because it used to be way higher. It used to be more than double in the last patch. So yeah, you're going to be healing less when you get a reset, but I think that's okay. The item is still, you know, decent if they have a lot of AD, or if you just don't want to get bursted, if they have like assassins or something, I don't know, like maybe like Kiana, Talon, Zed, like these types of champs, then you would want to opt for this item. If they have tankier champs, then you want to go for either Mortal Reminder or LDR. LDR does more damage because it gives 5 more AD, but Viego doesn't really use the Giant Slayer passive well at all, to be honest. We have the option of buying Mortal Reminder now, which is honestly pretty nice. So yeah, probably just gonna be this item from now on, usually. And then if you're opting, if they have a tanky team, you know, you'd probably just end up going GA last item here, or you would end up going Visage. If they have AP or Death's Dance if they have AD, and that's pretty much the full build that you're gonna run in most games. You could also argue like some of you might like going Wit's End. I think Wit's End is good on Viego for sure, but it's not an item that you would want to be going with this build in my opinion, because I think Visage just is like better than Wit's End in almost every single way if you're running this build. Obviously if you have Wits you're going to be doing way more DPS, but I think the amount of survivability and tankiness in general that you get from this item is too good. It's also 200 gold cheaper than Wit's End, which is nice, so you're going to be getting it faster anyways. But yeah, so an example full build would probably be like, you know, I would have the Visage, and then if I don't need the armor pen, I would just opt for the Death Stance, and then I would go the Red Paw, obviously. It would probably be something like this. Elixir of Iron is also good late game, but I usually just like having more damage. The elixir is preference, to be honest. But yeah, this is like sample full build, to be honest. Maybe if they have tankier champs, then you would want to go this. And then Visage probably, if they have more, like if the main threats are AP, but if the main threats are AD, then you just go Death Stance. You could also go GA, but honestly, I'm not a fan of GA. It really depends on like their team comps. Usually I don't even get the full build. Like realistically, you're only gonna get the two to three items most games. Like most games usually end around that game time anyways, so like realistically in an actual game I would probably just end up getting a stopwatch here and then getting a pot. This is probably like more realistic. But if games do go to 6 items, then yeah, I mean you can go for the GA if you want. It is pretty cheap, but I prefer Death Stance or Visage for sure. And Kraken over Shield Bow. No, I think Kraken makes Viego too squishy. Like the thing is, if you go Kraken, you're too squishy at 2 items. Like say I have Kraken right now. I mean I'm level 18, so I look kind of tanky right now, but that's just because I'm level 18. You're very squishy with Kraken and vulnerable to just getting one shot. And Shield Bow kind of prevents that. But yeah, so these are like all the builds if you're going Shield Bow pretty much. If you're going Sunder, actually I don't even think Sunder is like an item you should be building this patch. I think you just go Shield Bow every game. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it, to be honest. Did I miss anything? I mean, are there any other items I should talk about? I mean, I guess you could build Sunder into like really tanky teams, only if they're like really, really tanky. But if you're going Sunder, you can't really... It feels very awkward to buy crit after Sunder. Usually when you go Sunder, your build is going to be something like this. This is like a normal Sunder build. So yeah, I'll just go Bork Sunder, and then third item you go Death Stance or Wits End, depending on if you need armor or magic resist, and then last item or fifth item could be GA, depending on like, you know, if you need GA in this situation. What's the build for this? This is the build for Divine. I don't think you should be going Divine though. Bork into Frost against full AD comps? No, I think that's fine. Viego just functions really well as a champ. Like he's just so good with Bork. Into those tankier champs, you're good going like it's fine to go Bork. You just need to go an armor pen item third. Like you might have to go armor pen item third, and then go Bloodthirster after that. And that's the only difference. But yeah, these 3 items are pretty much core of this patch in my opinion. I think it's very, very strong, so you guys should definitely try it. As for runes, let's talk about runes now. No, you don't want to go Cyrilda's on Viego. Viego's just a champion that functions way better off of crit. And we have the option of Mortal Reminder now, so I don't think there's any reason to ever really go Cyrilda's. Walaikum assalam, Umar. And yeah, Cleaver you don't really need either. Like Viego does stack Cleaver fast, but there's no point in going it. It's pretty awkward to fit into the build since you're going to be going crit. I can see Cleaver being okay with Sunder, but I still probably wouldn't do it. And then for runes, you just go... These are like the standard runes. You can substitute second wind for bone plating if you you know, if you're facing a champ that all-ins you, I don't know, like Renekton, Riven, Jax, like any champ that has to go in on you to do their damage. But versus poke champs like Kennen, um, what else is there? Like any mages if you're playing Viego mid, if you're a Viego mid enjoyer. And Second wind is good. What's another top lane matchup where I would go second wind? Some tanks that can poke you, to be honest, like Malphite. I would go second wind into Malphite. But yeah, basically any champ that pokes you, you go second wind. Any champ that can all in you, you go bone plating. And then you can go tenacity if they have a lot of CC, but I think alacrity is just generally better. Viego scales very well off of attack speed. And then last stand and Ku. Um, I think you should just pretty much be going last stand almost every single time with the build that I said, because you're stronger at lower HP due to shield bow proccing. So last stand is very nice. And Overhill got changed this patch. I haven't really tried this much, but I can see it being pretty good. I can't really say much about this rune, but I mean, just looking at its numbers, it honestly seems pretty good. I think Overheal and Triumph are both interchangeable. Just make sure if you're running Overheal, you have it stacked for like a team fight or something, like life steal off of something to get the Bloodthirster and Overheal shield. But yeah, I think running a page like this is definitely like really good this patch too. And then the only other rune setup that I really run nowadays is like PTA. So I would go like PTA, and if you're going PTA, you should go Ku. And you only go PTA into really squishy team comps. Like I don't know, if you're facing like Jace top, Syndra mid, and then they have like a really squishy champ jungle like Echo or Kiana or something, and then like Lux Caitlyn bot, then you would go PTA because they're all very squishy and you can one shot pretty much all of them. The build is going to be pretty much the same. There's nothing that changes there. And secondary tree is also going to be pretty much the same. The only thing that changes is bone plating, how I mentioned earlier. And I usually take the scaling health shard, but into AP champs, I think MR is good. And then into the really, like, the lane bullies, like AD lane bullies, that can bully you level 1 and 2, like Fiora, um, what else is there, like maybe Jax, Renekton, those types of champs. Jace, I think Jace is a big one. Like you should take armor instead of HP. But yeah, HP outscales armor at level 4 for Viego. But MR is better than HP until like level, I think the breakpoint is like level 7 or 8. So yeah, MR is usually better in lane if you're facing an AP champ, so you'd want to just go that. I mean, that's pretty much it for runes.
My Mr. Squidward, I don't think I'm gonna be able to handle it anymore.